before we get started. Goal here is to do our final presentations. This is finals day. And then we're also just going to talk briefly. Well, we got to try and power through our Hóochʼ story so we could finish the translation of that. And then to put a bow on it, talk about how to keep going. A lot of us are motivated already, but also it's not just motivation. It's when you deal with really endangered languages and you take sort of a 4 or 5 month break. The danger is if we start getting going in September and you realize there's a whole bunch of stuff you used to know. So we're going to try to avoid that syndrome and also talk about just some opportunities that are coming up this summer and also some different things that we might try to do. But I guess the sort of starting point, kind of a fun thing. A colleague here, Allison Crine, who does a lot of publicity for the university and also social media stuff and graphic design, has come up with a really cool idea, which was these geospatial, I don't know if that's what it's called, Instagram filters. And the idea was centered around UAS graduation ceremonies, so that basically if you're on UAS campus the day of graduation, an Instagram filter is available that will pop up that'll say like congratulations or like have a graduation cap and gown. And so she said, oh, well, are there any, wouldn't it be cool to have some Tlingits in there? And I thought, oh, this is amazing. And then I thought, and then she said, yeah, because initially she just was talking about it, and I said, oh, this is fantastic, Yidlok, Heshekaudike, a number of other things just sort of started popping up. But then when she was talking to me and she said, oh, well, it's this geospatial thing, so it detects where you are, and only when you're at that place is that filter available. And I thought, place names. Beautiful, right? So you go to a place, and then the Tlingit can be up there, and you take a picture and it can just put it right onto your picture.
Yeah.
So I thought it was very fascinating. So I thought we would have a quick chat about, oops. Can everybody hear okay? I just want to make sure everybody can hear. About some ideas. If you could put something on a filter, what would you put on? Right. So a filter is basically you take a picture and like words are going to pop up and they would be embedded into the picture through the Instagram app.
We could have one for the library.
Oh yeah.
Like, or maybe we have that welcome, it's
Fix this. So like a hot goodie.
yeah. The Alaska Native graduation takes place in the library, so that might be one that would be fun.
Yidlok, you succeeded, you obtained it. Heshekaudike.
Didn't come unraveled.
You, yeah. Didn't come undone. Old tired baskets. I think it date, yeah, the day, like the month maybe. Oh wait. Ekakayani Disi. Then we get into Atkatachit Disi, is that right? So maybe months. Day of the week even, if someone was really on top of this. Place names. Any other types of messages that you would think of? Oh, weather? That's great.
You could just put Siudakusitan and like 95% of the time you'd be right. You're on campus.
Let's see if I can do it. I'll try and do this story. It's a very short story. Shirley Kendall Miller, she taught us, she was teaching some Tlingit to the tribal assembly maybe 4 or 6 years ago. She said, okay. So there was a group that was planning a picnic. And they said, so whenever I come up with an idea, you say, Siu dak guchsatan. Okay, everybody say, Siu dak guchsatan. It's going to rain. So I say, hey, you know it'd be great to have a picnic. Let's have a picnic this weekend. Oh, okay. Well, I guess we could have a picnic on Monday. Maybe Tuesday. On Wednesday. Tlingit ohan kushdeach wasakuati koa. So then she said, then you got to learn how to say, but we're Tlingit. It doesn't matter what the weather is.
And I'm trying to think, is it Instagram? Or no, it's Snapchat. Because now I'm thinking, like, in Snapchat, a fun filter would be the Wookiee and have Wookiee.
Oh, right.
Make your face into like a Wookiee, like.
A Wookiee.
Think
We could do a number of different. So the Wookiee. I don't know how to spell. I don't know how to spell Wookiee. If anybody knows how to spell Wookiee, I would be happy. Told me. Yeah. Oh, we could do that for the May 4th.
That would be fun.
I'll see what I can do. I'll talk to my people. Okay. Yeah. Okay. That's fun. I really like the idea of more things to just get the language out there. I think Susie Edwardson has done a great job with Haida, utilizing Instagram, Snapchat, Facebook, just getting stuff, YouTube, just doing a whole sort of strategy. There was a group in Teslin. They did these 4 videos of these kids just saying why our language was important. So I recorded a response. Maybe I'll show you guys that response real quick.
I have one more.
Yeah.
Filter, because I think people to take selfies with friends, you know, to have something like Wushigach Tustin or something.
Oh yeah, you could say Wush to Zekhan. Love each other. Yay. Gach to Steen. We'll see each other again.
Aww. Graduations make me so sad.
Oh, right?
Yeah.
And then, Hel, Wush, Chun, An, Ha, Guch, Sati. We won't be friends anymore.
Maybe not that one.
I was gonna throw that, just whatever.
But it reminds me, it could be different ones, like, so in the fall when freshmen are doing, as a cohort, or like moving into the dorms, there could be one that says like, welcome to Tlingit Ani or something, and maybe that shows up anywhere on campus and they,
Yeah, right?
A picture.
Yeah. Awesome. This is great. Okay, we'll look at some other ones. Okay, let's jump into it. Who's got a final project they want to show us?
I do.
Okay.
Just, can you search the web for, or go to YouTube and search Come and Get Your Love Tlingit? Did you do it? I did it.
Yes.
I didn't do my chin.
Oh.
No, I did it on my Cheeky Librarian channel.
Yes!
So bad.
I'm so excited for this.
It's,
Okay, so let me change the audio. This is going to come through there, and then I'll change that back in a second.
I'm so excited.
Jonna, Kate, I got your email. I got Chukund, I got your guys' email. Ayautisteen, I got your email.
one thing for this, when you open it and you put your cursor near the bottom, there's the CC for closed captioning. If you just turn that on, it'll do the translation.
Oh, great.
Underneath.
So let me pause it.
Oh, it looks like it's already turned on. That's good. The red should be under it. There you go.
Like,
Hey, hey, what's the way it turned the tiny? It turned the tiny.
yes.
Hey, hey, what's that into a cover hiss? Oh, hey, hey, swasa uti into aksei, kate hagu kate. Hey, hey. Ishaklegay ka ihada ka Linux akja Ikosa hane gashat Ikosa hane gashat Ikosa hane gashat Ikosa hane gashat Hey, hey, wasa uke Kizuti akusei Oh, hey, hey The shot is shaguni ayewe Kate, kate, wa etu a teach us kachu Hey, etu a ke asiku yewe Idat at aya enigi aja etu klaut Kusahane kashat Kusahane kashat Kusahane kashat
Yes, Sahuk. Yes. Ah. This gives me life.
Kusahane kashat Kusahane kashat Kusahane kashat Kusahane kashat Hey, hey, hey Wasa uke Kizuti akusei Oh, hey, hey The shot is shaguni ayewe
Sassy with the yes.
La 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 My production value.
Icicle tachunach away. And cheese.
I love that.
Oh, that was funny. Okay. Thoughts, reactions?
You have a good voice.
Oh my gosh.
And you did good.
It was,
Yeah. It was really well.
We're just gonna start a band. That's just gonna happen.
I would just say Redbone, the band that that did the song originally in English, is a Native American band, and this is one of my very favorite songs growing up.
Nice.
And so but I didn't realize the lyrics were a little hard to interpret, and you helped with that, which was great.
Yeah. Anything that has just inferred meaning or metaphor is because then the active translation shows you that languages do so much stuff with just sort of the culture just gets built into it, right? And so it's like when you say this, it just means this other thing, right? And then even the context, right? Like I'm gonna reach out and grab you. That could be like such a cute thing. That could also be like what if like Freddy Krueger said it? And it's like totally different. And so,
Right.
but yeah, and so those extra translations are really fun. Like I remember I had a student, he wanted to do like this poem, and I read the poem, and I said, no. So give it a shot, but come tell me when you're ready for something different. That was great. Sheesh.
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 Who wants to go next?
Ach email gay GT.
Mm-hmm.
Uji agihi achatangi yudosa.
That made my day.
So good.
I was so embarrassed showing that, so you guys are very kind.
Can I post it on my Facebook?
Yes.
Share today.
Yeah,
Share today.
so excited about this.
Yeah, oh, chukan ye waka. You should be proud of that. And so now we'll go after this. Okay.
Achatangi achtoasigo hingishtukatu yudosa. Banana shawu yudosa hingina. Banana ayachat. Wedu achat has kachat. Achat sik kahashishku. Vagina yudosagun. Ach ishtushawe. Hachatangi denakachinach. Yukon hat anayachat. Raldadach. Sigatani kachjechat yeticho
Oh.
Sigatani kachjechat yeticho Ajueach toasigu singat stuchal tu. Singat yachatangi ach bukyakayati. What's a ach tu sigu chaachi. Yeweach tu yati. At was skukenas ach singatani ka. Chaltakat yech kenas ach klagu kwankri. You chasha atge. Kliech eich hakwati. Aga hassagachtu ach. Hóochʼ ayak an il tíis.
Echawe kun sheesh. How tu ye keha yuchatangi ayashtil tu kun sheesh.
An il tíis.
Okay. Thoughts? Reactions?
Was that in your language?
Yeah.
What did that mean?
Yukon Hot Ana means Lower Koyukon Indians.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
It sounds different, but
Yeah.
but do you feel that knowing that has helped you learn Tlingit? Like are there any similarities? I mean, I know they're not part of the same family.
They are the same.
Oh, they are? Okay.
I think when I started learning Tlingit, that's when I wanted to learn how to say what I am in that language. So that inspired me. And then when I went up to Caltag and I was learning with some of the grandmas, I kept on trying to say things with Tlingit sounds, and they were saying, "Your mouth is too tight."
It's winding you up. That's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, some of the Dene languages are more similar than others, like Na-Dene. So Dene would be like all of the straight Dene languages would be all the interior of Alaska, a lot of the Yukon, parts of kind of Oregon and Northern California, and then Navajo and Apache country, and those sort of areas. And so then you get Eyak and Tlingit, which are significantly different than all of the rest. And so it's interesting to see which ones sound more similar to Tlingit and which ones don't. I think if you really just were fully fluent in multiple Dene languages, you'll be able to see a bunch of similarities in how verbs get put together and how the thought world kind of works, but there'd be a lot of differences as well. I remember Zeus, James Crippen, he was with a Navajo speaker, and they're at a conference. And she's like, "Well, I want to hear some. What does Tlingit sound like?" So he pulled up a recording, and he said as she listened to it, her face just went like really got kind of sideways, and then he stopped it, and she said, "I felt like I should know what that was. Like it was like Navajo, but I couldn't understand it."
Oh, yeah.
So that's where us. And so, but some things like Gwich'in sounds really different with a lot of Z's and the Z and J and type of sounds where Tlingit doesn't really. There's a couple of them that I think it doesn't even have, but some of them are more similar than others. Okay.
Really nice.
Okay. Yidetcha itua geseku tina.
Can you hear me? Idat achlichju chachatan kdat. Philip Rudnick kleika chenach yuduasach. Shke Bakersfield, California, yeyati. Wudishan yakudzage. Dudashchach has asachan. Chasachan. Atsai wasa chasachan. Atsai matza kasuk kedain. Chat gakech. Atsai wasus suk kedain. Alsik chat gakech. Kunashish.
Ha. Echa we gonna cheese. Guksa ye tiqa yishilk. Wasa. Uke. Ukecha. Any reactions, thoughts?
Sounds very good.
Okay. Konacha we konachike. Um, there was one thing in there, just a little slight comment is sometimes we say asachan or chasachan, and that's usually just referring to people. Um, but yeah, that's great. I know I had some folks that went and they did. Someone a few years ago did just a little 3x5 uh, recipe card in Tlingit, how to make chocolate chip cookies. It was really fun, and so there's some really fun verbs out there. Mixing is a fun. There's a couple different verbs for mixing and stuff, and measuring. I remember we were sort of just debating on like shut and shut plain, and then you could certainly do like halves, quarters and eighths and stuff. We might have to sort of figure some of those things out with dialogue with some elders. Gukha is a cup, a teish is a gallon. And so so it would all be kind of, and then if we go into Canada, we'd have to just sort of adjust it. We're like, deal with that. So fun. Wukecha ganashish. Okay, yaktishi. What? And you sent an email. Let me save this for a second. Okay. Yeah, I do. So let me change the audio. Okay. Here we go.
Oh.
Kuk kaya in sin e plain. Yasha wach away to Janina ha has uk has ach ewa wus was at kagahi shi ka gahi ja aba away ye ayasaka soulmonger you do a saw. Max atich siti soulmonger. Choke away at root. Na aku hit ya what shut away galina you do a saw. Ich paw away fargon you do a saw. Sich ani paw away gronk you do a saw. Owls at e away lim you do a saw. At Heens at e away Sierra you do a saw. Chult de husquati hus awas cut. Chulk away kudziti at kudziti. Kostin sink e klefya kus ani grenade. Ka lushik e at way at gutuk away at hasbuha. Has duach e. Lim away our city way ya kanash it ya ka nagu. Lim ye ya ka akach wakets kat kaudinet ka ach golla klein chalashat ach tuch kuati at kwasiti lim ye ya ka ha chan Not lock. Lim yan awadesh. Fargon wooded lack. Gook fargon gook. Ja. Shikak. Fargon ausitinwe cutle itje at dech agi our shot. Eee. We Hostin and with the hand. Gun limlin. The uach on has our yak way hostin at Chulahudze gateway Igihawi. Ke uach Yishi Huch.
Nachawe kayi sechu, just to cut you on your kecha. You guys are nailing it. Sheesh.
That was great.
Thoughts, reactions,
It's really cool.
Yeah.
I like that.
right?
Such a cool way to, tell a story using the language.
Right?
Yeah.
So we're gonna make gonna have a band, and then we're gonna make animated and. Although I went to these presentations during the mini-con, because I was like, I should do like stop animation And there's 24 frames every second. And I was like, yeah, I should do something different. I like this mode better. You just like reach your hand in there, push those things around. It was
I
amazing.
like the scene change too. That's a clever way. You could have
Yeah.
3 or 4 of those lined up and then having something else to bring in a new scene and a little fire. I mean, that was really
And
clever.
some music behind it.
The music
Yeah.
all, it was really well done. Very, very
Fun.
impressive.
Yakecha. Detwa dusa ditwa suku. Yeah. Tlingit chenacha wewe. T-Rex.
How would you say little arms or tiny arms?
Oh,
That'd be a good one.
Yeah.
Yeguginki.
Genki.
Oh my gosh,
Yeguginki. Yeguginki Jin. It would be little arms or little hands.
Think of someone else who could get that nickname.
Yep. Yeguginki Jin.
Sorry.
yeah, that's cute.
I think it's Chiklayat is like long gangly arms. I don't know.
Have you guys seen Meet the Robinsons? That cartoon?
I think I have.
It came out in the early 2000s, and it's funny because the villain has a T-Rex that can like talk. It speaks T-Rex language, but it's really funny because the guy's like, get him! And then he's in a corner, and the T-Rex's head is too big, it's in his way. And so he's like, Master, I don't think this plan was really thought out. I have a really big head and tiny arms.
Another fun project would be, well, I'll show you guys after the break. I'll show you after the break. I just gotta remember, I gotta find it. Okay, we'll find it. Okay, who's gonna go next? Keep the train rolling along. Wishdin ka kondachaya ya kana johidat. Okay, let's see Chu Kun. Let me get your guys' set up. Okay. Oop, let me check something. And then Shauna Kate. Okay. And that might be. Oh, and then we got one more. Okay, so I think there's 3 more left. So the order's been established. Ayautus Keen will do yours. You'll be the caboose.
Hakastini Yahya Shandal Piji Yahyati Yes Kaha Khatag Yejidinenich K Dushachnuch Khat Shtakat Ka Adak Yejinenich K Dush Asjinuch Gachtus Hugu Aga Awa Inkisha Tude Kaduchaknuch Aga Awa Yandu H Takyas Adun Kagata Yeda Dunenuch Tak Dusk East Nuch Gua Kandugu East Dutinuch Shag at Dugu Yehas Janenuch Ye Owe at Dugu Dag Yejidinenuch Tak Shag Esk Du Inuch Tak Ite Tetlenk Kach Dusk Jinuch Aga Dus Hook Jinuch Dus Desanuch Wan Benins Clinic Zihim Kachugak ihin kashautugani. Kedin wudus hugu. Aga awe inki sha tude. Yeda dunenuch. Kutan kep kawu aye du inuch. Chus su at naat. Achue hastudat aduyek nuch. Yande ya hasnanin. Asdewu kachu shakalchach. Kutank tai kaduhai nuch. Suye has ausine tu.
Okay. My goodness, sheesh. Okay. Thoughts, reactions?
I thought they did the beginning and end in unison.
Right? That was really neat.
I must have taken some coordination.
Wonder Twins. Great.
The posters kind of remind me of those ones that are in the language lab.
Same posters.
Okay, I really like that they use those to be able to describe, work that people do.
Yeah, it's the seasonal rounds posters that come out of a school district in British Columbia. They're Simshia, and they're amazing because they show people doing work and the things that they do throughout the seasons. They look like indigenous people of the Northwest Coast, which is wonderful. And then also there's lots of just little kind of gems that you could find in these posters. Oops. There's all kinds of little details that are just really specific to this region. And it could be just the way the fish are tied above the fire. And then it could be, there's some kind of image in the back. It could be like Fog Woman or something like that. And even though it's different people, there's a lot of shared stories. So it's a really great poster set.
I like that. A lot of the words in the posters are Somalic.
Yeah, and then there's some Alkiach in there. So we're going to form a band. We're gonna do short animated things, or maybe even just. I want to do really.
Animation?
I want to do should we do claymation?
I would love
I want
to
to do
do
short
animation.
comedy things. I want to do little skits, and then we're gonna make posters and stuff. We're just gonna keep.
You should start a production company.
We're gonna do it.
Awesome. We're gonna do it.
I like the way that they filmed the posters. I'm not familiar with these posters, so to me, I thought it was a story. I mean, like from a storybook maybe, and the way that they had one image, but they made it seem like a sequential 6 different images because of the way they kind of zoomed in on certain little details. I really like that.
Yeah, and then they said Dastia said to make sure we mentioned that there were a lot of things we do year round that weren't mentioned in the project. Yeah, and so it's a snapshot, but there's certainly a lot more. And the one thing I thought about is there's a verb for there's a couple of different verbs for skinning things, and so I thought I would look at those real quick before we move along. And we started talking about these in Yakutat last year because these are the sort of things where you might crash your program, but you might sort of put things together. Like I think I said, adugu adachaya akawachash, and I was corrected with a way to sort of say to skin like an animal. Is it going to work this time? So for skinning, we have ish, which would be usually for a deer or some sort of, it seems to be the difference here is the way that you do the cutting, which is kind of interesting. And so, but ish would be land animals, and state would be usually a seal. So, but this is something where we might want to check it a little bit more. But so this is sa chat'id, is I'm skinning, I'm skinning the seal. Hóoch'n ish. So you see, these are both imperfective, so they're right now. And then this one. So whenever you see the U and the K at the end of the verb, that's what we call a repetitive imperfective. It translates to it happens, right? For example, you say, I eat pancakes, like regularly. And then there's a habitual, perfective habitual, which means I only eat pancake. Like I eat pancakes all the time, like every single day, that kind of thing. And so these are the types of things that you see. Kuwakan means I'm doing this right now. And then we have a future. Eight. We're going to skin it today. Okay. Okay. So let me pull up the next one. Well, let me change you from the voice up above to the voice in this. Eat poha.
Hakustii. Ach si kuch. Anyanach tla yeduasak. Ye achajun a igyak. Yekwati. Ha Tlingit ani tse. Gusa du kik teethly. Ha ani. Ye achajun. Stikat Tlingit nich. Yekwati tse. Ye achajun. Hastu a igyak. Ka hastu. Aqua u. Hakusti a yes. Yak has aya u. Aya. Yak yadach. S'u yachyati. Achawe. Yak hit aya. Blate yachyati. Achawe. Hit sach aya. Kan yachyati. An adathli. Kadusi. Ha yaga. Achawe. Sa yek sa aya. Kan yachyati. Achawe. Yayak taide. Uch yachyati. Aga away. Yak washini yis. Ha washini tlatsin away. Dak un jin kat khas aya. Achawe. Ya washinch uch ichi adanech. Gwa. Khat ea achke adanech.
Sure.
Ganya a kanal jal. Hinya anas in. Ya fluoride teen pluk nanak. Ye ayak dulsnik yucha ach. Aga away. Take Nik Hajiwa. Hakeani. Siu kat saku. Atlain kanata watua in. Blade ka hastu atchayi aya. Tlingit kayak a. Agawe. Take nik hajiwa. Atawe ha guh dat uk. Yidat. Yidaridach. Dasa itinach tlingit ge. Yahin hakustiidach. Yanak hakustiidach. Ya atcha hakustiidach. Sa'at. At an hidi. Kaduchli. Kan at. Ua kan. Akan. Chat. Kahu. Uk. Alcei. Yan has a kausliga. Guncha ite. Guncha alcei. Guakan. Hua un. Guakan aduga. Tlasna at. Tlark ask aya. Shak dus tooch. Shas hoot nooch. Shak dus tu yedu sak. Kach kas at ye khwasa. Gagan yinde yana chich.
Hóochʼ way. Okay. Thoughts, reactions?
I like the pictures.
Yeah, great pictures. They tend to help. I think they really just help, just keep us going. And I think at this phase, it seems to be a helpful thing to have some sort of prop. You don't always need it, but yeah.
What does yida-di-dach mean?
From now,
No, I love that word.
yeah, yida-di-dach,
Yida-di-dach.
agudach, yida-di-day, up to now. Yeah, so the day and dach work for time references as well. Okay,
Yidach.
and that's cheesh.
Yida-di-dach.
And Yautisteen. Eat Hóochʼ.
Made me hungry.
Yeah, I mean, if we could redo that one
Hóochʼ.
in a place where we have all of those things, perhaps.
That was really beautiful.
Yeah, oh wow. Yeah, close that. I'll just put the verb dictionary up. And this one is, we have audio for. Oh, let me change the speakers again so everyone can hear it.
How are you? Yaguye.
Yeah,
Chachwatin. Los Angeles. We heard Ashigi, and we really like it.
Oh, Yake. Yake. So you heard this in Los Angeles, you guys said? Hey.
Fun.
Okay. Yeah, do Oops. Whoa. Sorry. I was trying to get the lyrics out.
I'm gonna see.
Like we're going to have to transition to a Tlingit talent show. Thoughts, reactions?
That was really pretty.
That's a lot of singing in Tlingit, which just from the tiny, tiny bit that I did, it's really hard. So it's very impressive.
Change your kind of, I don't know, we never watched Ishan Gaudan in here. You guys should go watch that. That's my attempt. A couple things I'd probably change about it, but yeah, Kach Konach Wuke, Gulchish, Konach Achtu Wukle Kach. Ya Hayukatangi Ayakadena Yagi Yagi. Hosaku wasat ich dena ya yeji yine hayukatangi da. Ajoyach tu yake. Chui a dakasu wukutoe a joy has to asagu yisakwa ahi. Ha. Takunachawe wuke. Has to asagu yi hasawa ahi. Hasi sawa ahi. Awa kunachawe yake. Ya just hayukatangi aya. Chui ya we kwach aya. Dakte ayabusus. Keshatua ashka ajat ayat aya. Ye cut aya yibuti at away. Ketehina ya yitishat ya yegi. Hosaku. Hesh a date chakudur tangi tin. Yentun. Yen tutlaka ye. Just Tlingit. Ye awe hain hasakawa niknuch. Wasa atka kone hayuk atangi tin. Adutsa, hada chankiyan has to ika koshatu. Yidetka hosaku, Yuhan. Juya just eka aya. Akanach aya yati, yidat. Ka has to itch aya koneyan to at Yuhan wushtin. Ajoyach tu yeke. Tachonach awe wuk aya yejene. Kaya yegi. Ach tu keu dekin. Tachonach away. A drigwell Cajun when it's kanach ayakach to sa gunnel cheese plain away. 5-minute break. You earned that. The Ishan Gaudan video.
It is
I did all the
hard.
recording first, and then I there were just little things that I did like just to fill in and just say silly things. And then I realized I couldn't remember what I said, so I had to transcribe the song. And then I found a way on this program called Elon, which is transcription software, to have it just sort of live subtitling, like really big, so I could see when it was coming up. And then I could do that.
I did so much, like, for the little tiny thing, I did so much work. So I had a slideshow with all the translations, and then I recorded the timing on it so that it would just come up on its own. But then you had to get it synced properly with the music, which is really hard.
We're going to take a look at this in a second, but I really think we need to keep making stuff. We need to just put it out there because the internet is just a place where you can just build this presence. And so with Yupik, I'm so happy that they're doing this. And I think I see other languages doing this in other ways. Hawaiian, they do some things. And some of it, like I really like that what we had is this wide array of stuff from like funny to like serious to family stuff to cultural stuff. And just we need to start putting this stuff out there so that people can see it. Because this is all part of the bigger plan, and part of that plan is normalizing the language. So that means it's just available and it's just there. So as people are browsing the internet or whatever, they have some options. They can encounter this stuff. And so I remember when we first started broadcasting some of our classes through YouTube, someone was like, I'm a Tlingit person, I live in New York. And this popped up on my feed. And so it was just really neat to just sort of be able to make that connection. And then it also just sort of creates an opportunity for the language for people that are here. And so I just wanted to show a couple other, at least, well, just one other option, and just sort of say, let's just keep doing this kind of stuff. And then we can do workshops on like the audio video stuff, like how to make a high quality recording. It doesn't always have to be high quality. Like if you watch this is not high quality audio. And it's also not a translation of the movie at all. So.
Is this from Full Metal Jacket?
That's what the film is from.
Not funny nice hurt stick. What the cook do you to go? Get books come need to go. Get books come and get books and give me down the 5 gallon of fish. So I can't get to it 2 weeks. He can get Casa Captain Stimmer. No piece of fish. I'm going to get It's so good. So listen to me. I can't discuss something. I can't excited good. The room. It's too cold. I can't get you know, guys, it's the gummy. You know, look at you. Tanara. Yo, there you go. Malik Christian. You know, Malik Yo, Malik Christian. Yeah, sister. Thank you. I'm not clear me. I can do talks of Malik chicken. My best clip, Malik Nectar. If this citizens of Malik chicken. You Malik chicken.
Oh my god.
It's just, another example of stuff. And, like I said, we just got to keep putting stuff out. But you guys did amazing. That was spectacular. It was an hour's worth of projects that just show a lot of effort and a lot of work. And I really appreciate it.
Jeez.
Okay.
Can I, like you mentioned a workshop or something for some of the audio video stuff?
Yeah.
I would love to learn how to put like the text like that, what we just watched, where the overlaid over video, and just something simple like that I think would help a lot.
Yeah, and so there's a program that I use called, well, there's two. There's one called, well, I guess there's multiple ways to do it. You could get into sort of film making programs, and there's a bunch of them. I use Adobe Premiere Pro, Final Cut Pro, those are a couple. But there's all kinds of movie editing
And you
software.
can do it in Adobe Premiere Pro, because I have that one, but I just couldn't figure out how to.
And so, but what you're going to do is you're going to add, they're called titles. So it's a little bit tricky to find. But basically, if you did an internet search on how to add a title, it'll show you how to do that.
Okay.
And so but that's a really kind of a painstaking way to do it. Another way to do it is to have your film, put it into a program called Elan. ELAN, which is, I remember when I taught a class and we used Elan. It's transcription and translation software. And so basically what Elan does, let's see if it opens here, is, of course there's a new version. So Elan allows you to put, well, let's just open a file so I can show you.
And it's not like Apple specific or anything.
So there you can get it for a PC or for Mac or for, what was the third type of operating system that was kind of out there?
Linux.
Unix.
Unix, yeah, I think there was something like that. So basically, this one's not working out. There should be video right here. Let me see if I open another one, if I can get it. Might be getting some kind of error. But it's a little clunky because it's not really big money software. And so as they try to keep up with things, like, this is not allowing the, usually there's an embedded video file in there. And so we'll just pretend that it's there, and I'll try and figure out later why it's not working. But basically, once you set up your file, you could just sort of listen to it in these little chunks. Play. I don't know if it's going to play. Okay, so it's not working. Basically, you can play this in small loops, and then you can have the Tlingit here and the English underneath it, or however you want to set this up. You can export this into like the subtitles file. So there's quite a process to it. I think we're going to do another transcription translation class. I don't know actually when we'll do that, but we'll do some of this in the fall. I'll walk you guys through some of this stuff. It's pretty intense, but once you get the steps and how the software works, it's amazing. Both translating stuff, but then you could export from here to a subtitles file, and then I use a program called iSkysoft Media Encode. What is it called? It's one of these sort of things. I can't remember how I found it. It works great. It's one of these sort of iSkysoft iMedia Converter Deluxe. It's one of these pieces of software that sort of wants you to buy a million other things, but just buying that one thing, you can embed subtitles directly, and you can edit them in really amazing ways, like change the fonts and change where it's located and change the background and stuff. That's the best way that I found to do it directly onto video.
iSkysoft Media.
Yeah, iSkysoft Media Converter Deluxe. Oops, I opened it. And the nice thing about this, and I'm not trying to sell you guys anything, but you can also download stuff like straight from YouTube. Like, so you go to the download thing and you push the paste URL and you can just download it right there. So, okay, let's get back to our translation project. So here we are, we got it. So he sends the birds. Oh, and then I think I got, keep an eye on the chat here. Yeah, so you can access all of these resources of our class during the summer. And then we'll be doing some transcription and translation stuff in Whitehorse mid-June. I don't know if anybody can make it up there, but it's a free class. It's pretty fun. So Raven sends these birds that are his grandkids out for a different skunk cabbage. And then we get to this line. Anybody want to read it? Okay. How do we translate that?
Who took the fish?
No, it's a ausita. We're going to go find the sita verb. So we'll go look up ta. Ta. So there's sita, to boil, but what this sata is to pick up or to, it's a carrying verb for a dead thing or a sleeping baby,
Oh.
right? So when, and the reason, the big hint is ach. Whenever you see ach in front of something, there's often some sort of motion or carrying verb after it because it means adach, like
Duh.
he picked up that fish, right? Then he also picked up the fish from there.
The dead fish.
Yeah.
It's implied.
Right? Yeah, it's built in, right? And this could be like a sleeping baby. Ach, ausatawi tukanegi.
Or someone who's passed out.
Yeah, that would work. Yeah, someone who was passed out. Okay, who wants to read this one?
Aga'we sa adat awa'ak.
Okay. Aqa'awit sa adat awa ak. Which and then
We did that.
we can say and then. Is the awa ak part? Do you remember that?
To building the fire.
Yeah, building a fire, right? Adat, he built a fire around it. There's a small particle here, tsa, which really means like only then. So it was like only after he picked it up, he built a fire around it. Okay. Who wants to read that one?
Tlingit awa Tlayan u I wechat Tlain.
So whenever you see these things together, well, this is so you're gonna get ch, and then which is an extreme contraction of tleil. And it really seems to only pop up in this particular mode. And so what you have to do with that is go chush. They run right into each other, right? Like CHA and shtakat is always going to be chashtakat. So it just runs together. Chushginayetji. So whenever you see the CH apostrophe U, which is, it's hard to translate on its own. It always wants to be with something else. Cha and chu. They always want to be with something else. And then you get yina yat ji. There's usually going to be a J at the end of that. Because this is going to be basically in what we call the perfective habitual form, which means it hasn't been that way yet. The most common way I've seen this was before I was born, which is a huge kind of a verb. There's a lot of moving parts that go in there. But all you need to know for now is whenever you see this combined, it means it was just not before that, or it hadn't gotten to that state yet, whatever the verb is. And anybody know what? So we're looking for yayat or yayat. And so yayat, and so this one is it's a tough one. Yayat. And so, whenever we see like the JI at the end, we should also sort of expect there to be a verb root kind of right before that. Again, this one's a little tricky. So yayat is long. Yiyayat is a long time. And that's why you've got the yi right there. The na is going to pop up. Yat chi. So combined, how do you think that works?
Before long.
Before long.
Dang.
That's a big, meaty, chunky verb. They're very fun the way that they're put together, and also logically the way that they work, it's just really interesting. It's a really interesting form, I think. You don't see too, it's like the big time, these are the big time orators in Tlingit. They do stuff like this. So before long, Kayan Uwa E, oops, sorry about that, Weichat Tlain.
Like they were cooking the big fish.
Yeah, so the yun before it means it's done cooking.
Oh,
Right, so whenever you see yun or yach right before a verb, that usually means it's done. So like you can say, yejechwane, I worked. Yun yejechwane, I finished that, right? That's where you get yanuwane. Is it ready? Yan iwane aksha. Are you ready? Right? So the yun means like to some sort of completion. So yun uwa e. Before long, the big salmon is cooked.
Away tle awacha. Awacha. Then he ate the salmon.
And he ate it. Let's read that one.
Akua, ka away, play arsenich.
Tasawit le kach enachwa. What's a coup? Yeah, he did not eat the tail. Right? So, but the ausenich, others, speakers from other areas would say ausenech. It's the same verb, ausenich, ausenech. And it means to like heal, to save. But it could also be like, they would say like, ach qasanechi, this is the only one who's remaining from my father's people. Right? Or let's say there was 10 fish heads up here, and it was time to eat. Then I walked up and I wanted 3 of them. And I might come and say, ha, there's only one that has remained, survived, left. So it's a one of these things where it has these multiple uses. So you could say, but he saved the tail. Right? So there's other ways you could say it, because you could just say aku awekoa kel awacha kel uwacha, but he didn't eat the tail. But once you have the ausenich verb in there, he saved it. There's different ways to think of it. Naitu cha'asa.
Datius Sakshiwe Ausinich Aku.
Okay. Okay. Asoit lekach enachwa. Dat yisakshwe ausenich aku.
That is around, but is it like, what's he gonna do with this tail, or?
Yeah. So the dot, we have to think of it in terms of dot yis.
Yes, yes.
Is in the same.
or what?
Yeah. What did he save the tail for? And what kinds of things have a ku? Does the dog have a ku?
Leg.
Dog has
That's
a
Kagiat.
yeah, awe chat at kaut yichi at awa.
Kiyijiat.
At katu addi at shidi has to jiw. Sheesh. Natu. I guess I figured we knew it as well. It's just waiting. You should know by now.
Just at tucha giawe at astin.
Okay.
Just then.
Then
Um,
only atuhaki. Do we get that one?
Is the verb ha?
You would think it would be hawk. So let me see if this one is. I don't know if I got this documented anywhere. Did anybody find it?
Like,
Okay, let's go to the verb root thing. So we'll look for hawk and see if there's anything there.
dump.
oh.
To become a skeleton.
Wow.
Right, so this is a pretty, might be the only place I've seen this so far. I'll have to dig through my notes, but then only a skeleton. And there's a couple different ways to say that. But the tuhak would be like this dried out inside, like it has become a skeleton. And the reason, when you tell the raven stories, you kind of use funny things like this, like it just became this skeleton because he ate it, because he ate the thing so fast. Right? Like people usually like, it takes a while and then there's a skeleton, like maybe 20 minutes later. But usually with raven, like in the stories, the way that the verbs tend to work, which is why we always apologize, sorry raven, is he's just like, rah, and then there's just little chunks.
Only the bones are left.
What is the G?
What's that?
Tuhaji?
Tuhaki. Yeah, so the K becomes a G because it gets that relational sign,
Yeah, okay.
right? Just like if you said my black bear, achtsigi, or my belt, achsigi, the K's got to become a G. Yeah, that's another tricky part, is we might have looked for XAAG. At asteen.
Is that related to gachtustin?
You would, no.
Oh.
So yeah, there is a, so this one is actually like sati. And so this is where it gets a little tricky, right? Because there's a satine, there's a sati, and there's another sati. So here, some of the things, just like the the ut, right in front with the high tone, tells you that this is to like be located somewhere, to be at a place. And so what ut-asteen means is it's just laying there. So this is the verb that we would be looking for. And this is another one that's a little tricky. And it's hard to find stories that don't have a few tricky things in there. So we know sati is to like to become this kind of thing. But this is actually a different T verb, and it's right here. So you see like yan sati, to set it down, or like at sati would be like for some solid, complex object to be sitting somewhere. And only a skeleton is there. Or, you could say then, okay. Natu.
Wait, tesh kat kusha kawa kuwa aha.
Okay. Akatkushakawaha. Shakawaha. Right? So there's a k, there's a sha, which is the head, ka is on, is a space, and then we got waha. Let's go see if we can find this one. Start here. And with the ha, there's a million of these ha verbs. So we start just kind of scrolling down, and we're looking here to see if there's, because we, to try and find one with that many. So shayaha, shatlaha, kuyaha, not quite getting it.
Move it? I thought it's a move, maybe. Move, especially. Oh, no. Kayaha.
I agree. Shadaha, shayataha, shayatlaha. So we don't really see something with that many kind of parts in it. So the next step from here is to go into the, whoops,
Okay. Shaha.
to the Lear verbs and see what he's got. And so there's a million things in here as well. Awaha. So what we're looking for is something that would have k, sha, ka, and then yaha would be. So it's a ya classifier. K, sha, ka.
Shaka.
There's tuaha, akautlaha, akautlaha, kusahir, kusahakt. Sewaha. Kaudaha. Kuyauk. Kuyakaudaha. Let's see. Kukauda. Kukaudaha. Shikaudaha. Kusha. Ya. Kauduaha. Oh, that's pretty close.
Shaya kaudu.
Covered him completely.
Right.
He hid the bones.
Akat kushakawaha. Right? So, then, and then he covered it over. Right? So again, some of these verbs we just gotta dig around, especially some of these ha verbs or ti verbs. It might take us a long time to find them, but the thing is, by doing this translation work, we start to say, oh yeah, I remember that time I ran into something like this. Okay, whoops. Where akat out what did we get for that? Yep, yak a. Yakdishi. So we atguwu is a stump. So clay akat out the guatl. And we found the guatl, which is to roll. Right? So out the guatl would mean somebody is rolling something. Right? So there's
Where this is going.
because there's things for things to just be rolling along, but this is for someone to. So then he rolled a stump on top of it. It's pretty thorough, this guy.
He is. It's like, what?
What?
Okay.
Chuyina yachi away. Chuyina yachi away.
Okay.
So we just learned that.
Literally seconds. Not yet.
Um,
Long time.
After
A
a
long
while or after? Oh,
So yinayat would be it's getting long.
okay.
Or like yinayatch. It's always a long time. Yinayatch means it hasn't become a long time yet. So in this context of a story, would say before long. And then there's this
Birds come back.
ha, which is oh my. Hatas kautle yich yis teen.
Birds return with new skunk cabbage leaves.
And then when we say yis what the ah is doing there is like saying part of them, right? So we just say some, with some new skunk cabbage. Read this.
Wetle ye ko yauseka. Atlen ataya yacha wune. Achdach chanke sani.
And this first part.
Yauseka. Ayauseka is yauseka, as they said.
Yeah. So
Yauseka.
and then he said to them.
So this is Raven saying to the birds.
Yes.
Okay.
Because they would usually like name somebody who might be talking if it's not Raven. Otherwise, it's usually Raven all the way through.
How much has happened to us, my precious grand?
Yeah, so atlein at is like some big thing, some huge thing. And when we put these together, Yahawune, when you say like Yahawune, there's certain things where you say that and it means like something bad, right? Achdechan kisani is my little grandchildren. So he said to them something. Just gonna give some quotes here. Something awful. This is so lovely. I mean, it's such a nice thing to say. Okay, let's read this.
Ya atkuwu akadak shudlikwat ya khadi.
Okay, how would we translate that?
A stump fell on your fish. Or
Yes.
rolled over onto your fish or whatever that was.
Right, so we get the ya, so then we'd usually say this tree stump, and then a ka on it. Daksh would be like it rolled itself. It's really funny, like the way he's like in his grammar, he's teaching you how to just get out of everything. So slick tongue, because we see how the classifier was like this is an L classifier, which means he's doing it, and now the DL plus the SH before it, like if you just said this on like shwutikwak, that means like somebody rolled themselves down a hill or something. So this tree stump rolled itself over on our salmon. Hachati. Hachati.
Raven.
Let's read that. Hóochʼ. Hóochʼ echusati.
Is that like it's gone? It's gone?
It's gone. It's all gone. Hóochʼ means it became gone. Away it's koa kehasgachsati achua. Then it's koa.
A little bird, the titsk.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Birds. The little birds. Hasgachsati.
We'll never see them.
That's a good guess. So we got this gachsati. So the N would have to be on there for that one, satine. So let's go in here to our 1,001 T verbs, and we're just gonna look for gachsati and see if we find anything. I wonder where they got that at. Yati, sati, gachsati.
oh.
Plural things to cry.
Oh.
Little birds.
Raven.
They are crying.
Oh.
And then the achu ah. Has anybody heard that?
I want to say that's some of them, yeah.
That is correct.
That was just one of them.
Ya hastu waqkanda tleit yahdaqati has waqqiqu. Ya hastu waqkanda tleit yahdaqati has waqqiqu. So this one, we're running out of time, so I'm going to unpack this one for you guys. There's a lot. So there, so you just say there. Waqkanda tleit yahdaqati. There's a lot of really amazing things that are going on in there. That's the white around their eyes.
I was thinking white poop, but that's Gunday.
And then waqqiqu means wiping the eyes, right? So it's really, so they,
Oh, is this the story of how they get the white around their eyes?
Yeah.
It's from their weeping about the fish. Oh.
some of those little birds, they've got little white spots around their eyes. Yashuq gant uwanuk.
Is Shuk Robin?
Yeah.
Just about his red breast or whatever, his.
So what's gant uwanuk? Sat close to the fire. So you have this T plus uwanuk means to sit down kind of touching something. Right? That's why you say aunt uwanuk. Aunt uwanuk next to sit down next to anger. Yach akaut wat. So there's the wat part. I'll look that up.
Maggoty. One of the definitions was maggoty.
The quad, sorry.
Hóochʼ is like a whirlpool.
Yeah, Hóochʼ is a, so when you've got the underline though, that's a belly.
Oh, belly. Hóochʼ.
Quad, sorry, I spelled that wrong.
He burned his belly from sitting too.
Blacken with smoke, make black by holding in heavy smoke. Then she scorched her belly. Keich an yacheti, and it's red. It's a kaini ko'a awahastu jidach ke da kinch. Tseqini. Magpie. Hastu jidach ke da kinch.
Duck from their hands.
Mm-hmm. Right. Hastu jidach, and it's like they're trying to, hastu jidach ke da kinch. That would be like they were holding it and then it flew away. Awe kuchtes ashat.
I've gone brain dead. Sorry.
What's that?
I've gone brain dead. Sorry.
So kuchte is back or returning, but there's some really fun uses for that. Like if you're standing in line for your coffee, and somebody's breathing on your neck because they're just really like too close. Sometimes some people stand too close, and they're just right behind you. You could say, "Kuch gedahan," stand back. So kuch also means just sort of that backwards direction. Kuch de hus ashat is like this is like you could say kuch de hatkashat, hold me back. You know how people say, hold me back, I don't want to fight it, right? So they're holding her back. And that's what it means, like kuchte, you're grabbing onto them and pulling them sort of backwards. Ke'akashach. Ke'akashach is, then he grabs her.
Raven grabs her.
Awaye au sakawe tsiqini.
And they said to the magpie,
Chad kusti yahin kechu kashyek idakinjik.
I think.
Chad kusti yahin kechu
his life is in
kashyek idakinjik. So chad kusti,
life of the salmon.
life of the salmon, or it could be to exist. Yahin kechu.
The spirit.
It's in the water.
And there are salmon in the river. Kashyek idakinjik.
Raven will catch them, or
So yeah, there's a bunch of stuff going on in this one. So kleish, and a lot of times we'd say klish, but the speakers tend to drift back and forth between them. Kashyek idakinjik. Don't fly down here to the beach. So this is a prohibitive, saying don't ever fly down here. And so in this case, Raven's commanding the magpie, when there's salmon in the rivers, you don't ever come down here to the shore, which is why magpies don't go down to the beach. They're always.
why? What did Magpie do wrong?
He's being mean to all the birds. So this is what he's about to do. He's gonna do a bunch of mean stuff. That's what he does. Chahin yich Shuburhiya Chad Akatsayek Kidakin. Only when there are no more salmon in the creek, that's when you'll fly down to the coast. Tahin yich, in the water. Shuburhihi, they've all run out. Yachat, the fish. Then, only then, aqatsa, only then, yiqidaqin. That's a command form saying, fly down to the shore. Yaqawetsa. Then he also Yayawsaqa Wushnach Wushqaq. What is that one? Do we know what that one is? Wren, Yawa. Said to the wren here. Tak ayab wushnach at gaqishqaq. You will always hop through holes.
I think it's great that Raven stole and ate all their fish, and now he's punishing them.
Oh, and then he does this all the time. He's like, "You'll never come back here," and it's because people are going to tell on him.
It's because he's got a guilty conscience. Maybe.
It could be.
Facts.
And so he says, whenever you fly, you'll be, and there's two, wushqaq means to land, for a bird to land. Yakatukhusani ye ayasaku atsu. He also gave instructions. So this is Yan Ayadachsaka. He instructed all of them, every single one of them, to all the ones named chickadees. Qaqish qo'a'awa qunach ashayayek ashaksayeku. And as for the blue jay, Raven is really combing the feathers on his head. Wushqanayade ashaksayek dushada. He's combing them in all different directions. Wushqanayade. Dukhwach qunach qasagu ade yan ausaneyi. It's really fun the way that Raven fixed up his feathers. Aqa awetsa cha'aye wuti cha'aye yikuwat dunakutqa shuwaguktle. Raven stayed there for a little while and then ran away from him. What did we run out of? Okay, let me just bring the translated side up. We're out of time. And these are big stories. Even the little ones, you get into these really huge chunks of Tlingit. And let me turn the spelling off. That's how it happened. His grandchildren were the ones who worked for him, but then he didn't treat them right. He also instructed them in many ways. That's how this story ends. That's how the Raven stories, there's a lot of them that go like this. Some of them have these sort of more, and they only publish the ones where he's like giving things to people and solving the world's problems, but he also created a lot of difficulties. And so this is why it's so fun to get into the complexities. And there's stuff that he says, and nobody really talks like that. But I wanted to just sort of do an exercise and see how much you could get. And to let you know that there's only a handful of people in the world that could actually unpack some of those. So don't feel bad if some of those were really hard. We'll spend more time next semester on stuff like this. Just looking at, sometimes we just glimpse at the hard stuff, but we just focus on being able to do some day-to-day communication. So I hope you're able to stay into it and feeling good about where you're at as a language learner, using it. There's chances to do a bunch of stuff this summer. If you're feeling like you need some kind of project or something, feel free to send me an email. I got lots of ideas and we could just share ideas on things to do, things you might make or try and translate or work with, or pick things that are already translate it and figure out how to get there yourself with the answer sitting right there. And then just keep looking up those verbs. And probably the biggest part is just find ways to get it to come out of your mouth, because you just convince your body and your brain and your spirit that this is just something that we do. It's something we do now. And then that just really helps, because I think no matter what language it is, if you just kind of end up just looking at it and listening to it, then it becomes really hard to make that language. And so that's what our focus should be. So yeah, this is the last class, Shauna, Kate. All the material on tlingitlanguage.com is always accessible. You could review classes, you could watch other classes, you can look at all those dictionaries and stuff that are up there. That stuff just stays up there for you all to use. And then I'll be sharing stuff probably over the summer through YouTube and whatever on just various projects that I'm working on with some folks. We'll be developing those series of books like The Woman Who Married a Frog. That one. There's about 5 other books. I'll put those titles up so that you guys could look at them. If you spot any errors, let me know so I could fix them. And we're going to try and get that stuff published pretty soon, so we can have versions of them out there. So, yewe gonna cheesh. You go aya Juan. Katain aya ya yitlaq. Ya yaki gonna cheesh. That's it. Have a fantastic summer. We'll see you guys around. Stay in touch.
So what will the class be called that we'd register for in the fall?
Advanced Tlingit.
Okay. I have a quick class related question for you. Is it okay if I